Guten Tag, distinguished participants. I thank the ambassador for the kind introduction. I'll try to use 15 minutes before lunch, as efficient as possible. We have some PowerPoints to show. Thank you, the organizer, IHK Chemnitz, for organizing this important event. I learned a lot this morning, what the speakers have said, which is quite relevant of what we are doing in the Eastern Economic Corridor of Thailand. We are a national mega project set up since the year 2017, covering the 3 provinces in the eastern part, Chachoengsao, Chonburi, and Rayong. You may know Pattaya City. That's exactly part of EEC. We set up with 3 main principles that we have to be green, sustainability, we have to be technology and innovation-driven industries, and we have to provide excellent infrastructure and connectivity. So that's what we are doing. In fact, we quite benefit from, can you please change to the next page? We quite benefit from what we've done before 30 years ago, the Eastern Seaboard Development, which we already drawn major investments from around the world to this area. As Ambassador mentioned before, that Thailand is known for being in the central location in ASEAN. And the EEC, we are right at the Gulf of Thailand, between the South China Sea and in the east, and the Andaman Sea and the Indian Ocean in the west. With that, we have geographical advantage that would largely increase the potentials of EEC to reach out to major markets around the world, not only within the region. And 4 years after we start in the year 2017, investment target has been achieved. We made a target of around $47 billion US. And for the next 4 or 5 years, we expect to make another target of around $50 billion US. And that we expect investment would come from continued building infrastructures, as well as major industries like EV, smart electronics, digital industries, healthcare, biotechnology, recycling business, and many others that would receive quite good incentives. The next page shows that we are constructing major infrastructure facilities. As Ambassador mentioned before, we are preparing to accommodate the transport and logistic connectivity from EC and Thailand to countries in ASEAN, China, Japan, Korea, Australia, Europe, and the US. We already have Lam Chabang Deep Seaport set up 30, 40 years ago, but now it's being upgraded to phase 3. And that would enhance the capacity of Lam Chabang Deep Seaport to around 18 million TEU per year. And that would be automated warehouse and airport system and port system, including the data linkage as well. Utapao International Airport, due to be constructed at the beginning of next year. It will be expanding from the original airport to become international airport and the hub of the region. We expect to have passengers capacity around 60 million passengers per year. There will be cargo terminal, MRO, free trade zone, as well as other necessary and facilities. And we are in the process of negotiating with Leipzig Halle Airport for logistics and cargo cooperation. For the high-speed train, it is about to construct soon, and this will connect the 3 international airports in Bangkok and Utapao. Meantime, you can see that it isn't shown here, but the operating company for the high-speed train just announced that they are looking for suppliers and consultants in signaling, in all type of train system, like signaling suppliers, as well as like train control system, telecommunication systems, IT, and as well as equipments. Map Taput is the industrial part, which already undergoing phase 3 construction. This is, all of these we expect it to be completed in the year 2025 or latest 2026. The next page, I'm going into the subject of automotive industry. In Thailand, we expect that automotive industry is to be driven by new technology. And this is a major target industry for the EEC. I can see clearly the synergy between Germany and Thailand, as you are number 6 ranked of the world production, and Thailand now to number 10. The production, the vehicle production in Thailand has climbed up to the pre-level, almost to the pre-level COVID. Since this year, we produce 1.65 million units, and we expect the rate is going up. This volume account for 47% of ASEAN total car production. The figure last year has shown that, the next page please, has shown that automotive production in Thailand is coming back to the volume. As I mentioned, 1.6 million units, and 44% serve domestic markets, and the rest, 56% export. And the number 1 destination export is Australia, and this is about passenger cars. Next is Europe and the US, and also China, 11%, Philippines, Vietnam, Japan, Middle East, and Indonesia. And as Thailand made a very strong commitment in the Paris Agreement that we will move toward net zero greenhouse gas emission by the year 2050, and move towards carbon neutrality by the year 2065. Recently, the government has announced, I think it's time to change the page, please. Recently, the government has announced that the year 2030, about 30% of new cars produced are to be zero-emission vehicles. And by the year 2035, only full EVs can be sold in Thailand. But yes, there are many challenges for us in transforming from ICE to EVs, and we share, these painful experiences. But this is the task that we need to achieve. That's why since the year 2017, various incentives measures are issued by the government to boost investment and demand of EV in Thailand. They are more intensified recently, such as CIT exemption for up to 13 years, also import tax deduction for parts and components for new technology. There are details that we can shown in the PowerPoint later on. For the transformation of Thailand's automotive industry, I think we started since 2017 until today. We have car brands like BMW, Mercedes, MG, BYD, Foxconn, Toyota to map out a plan for EV production. But it looks like that the production capacity is still not yet meet the increasing demands. As for the EV batteries, these are being produced by various manufacturers such as EV Lomo from the US, as well as major local companies. They are partnership with foreign companies as well in producing EV batteries. Famous technology companies such as Siemens, ABB, Delta Electronics, Tritium are constructing EV charging infrastructure. And some German companies like Continental, Broses Group, and TÜV SÜD are engaging actively, into EV-related business as suppliers of parts and components, smart electronics, and even, in testing and certification. The next page, you can see that we have prepared to promote the stronger ecosystem for EV and battery production. So we have two important facilities set up and opened already in the EC province named Chachengsao. One is the Automotive and Tire Testing Research and Innovation Center, and the other one is EV Battery Testing Center. And both are the collaboration between Thailand Automotive Institute and TÜV, the company from Bavaria. Also, next year we will have a big facility. Next year we will have autonomous driving test bed open at the EEC Innovation, which is a big facility set up in Rayong province, and this is intended. This platform is intended to back up R&D for industry. So EV vehicles, autonomous car is one. We have several local and foreign companies working together, to prepare, to do various functions such as creating EV platform, parts, components, and design, as well as in software and system integrations, also about policy and regulations and standard and testing. About the personnel, as Ambassador mentioned, we've been intensified in reskill, upskill, and also in our work integrated learning program, working with the private sector, universities, and so far 100,000 of personnel have been prepared. And in fact, we provide incentives to the investors who would like to invest, in reskill and upskill training by providing like half expenses by the government, as well as you can use the expense for tax deductible up to 250%. The next page just show you briefly about the FTA that we have. Now we have FTA with 18 countries, particularly ASEAN, Japan, Korea, China, Australia, New Zealand, and some other countries as well. The most important thing is this FTA enabled zero tariff for EV export to those destinations. Meantime, the accumulative rules of origin, as allowed in this FTA, will enable the imported parts and components from ASEAN, China, Japan, Korea, Australia, New Zealand to be qualified as local contents in Thailand. So with the rising oil prices, we've seen increasing demand for EVs in Thai market. And as of this year, the next slide will show that the number of EV registration in Thailand has increased. Please change the slide, please. Yeah, this one shows that the number of EV registration in Thailand has increased to 18,600 vehicles. And this increasing rate is double since the year 2018. To be quick to the next page, charging stations are also increasing rapidly. As of now, there are around 1,400 stations, and we expect that by the end of this year, it will increase to 2,000 stations. And the target is by the year 2030, there will be 12,000 stations for EV charging. Some investment highlights on the next page. We already have EV manufacturing by MG, Great Wall Motors, Foxconn, and PTT Group as joint venture. BMW also is launching full EV production, BYD from China. And as for the battery plants, the capacity now is about 5 gigawatt. And we need to get more in the future. Thailand still lacks some technology for EV production, and we are looking for manufacturers in engine and drivetrain, especially electric traction motor. There are also demand for battery cell production. Please change the slide. Yes, this one you can see that we are still in demand for battery cell production, electronics related equipments and charger, EV platform, electrified booster, lightweight material, and also those are for the body and chassis and some others. The next 2 pages tell about special packages, which I mentioned to you before. Yes, but I don't go into details. Those who are interested, you can contact us directly, and we are ready to negotiate. We would like to, in fact, to invite the Mittelstand from Saxony, to explore business opportunities in Thailand and the EC. We would like you to make use of the strong ecosystem and the network of supply chains that we can offer, for your long-term profitable investment in Thailand. So I'm sorry if I go beyond the time limit, but thank you very much for your attention. Danke sehr für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit.